Hi everyone, how are you today? I am Kate in Fantasylands and this is the Bookworm Challenge. I am a bit out of breath because I've had to do so many things today, I'm so sorry. So, this is a Bookworm Challenge where I have to read and do absolutely everything in game, and today is definitely going to be a very bookwormy day. Can I hear myself? Yes, perfect. Okay, everything is working correctly. That is good to know. So, as I said, today I'll be doing lots of bookwormy things because tomorrow is the last day before the new patch, or rather, tomorrow, very late at night for me, comes the new patch. And this means that I actually want to do lots of archive things today, so tomorrow I can count down the ones that I have already read through. And let me get sorry, I've been working just so much in the morning. I have still so many things to do today. So I'll be doing living beings because I already read lots of them. And actually, wait, didn't I read the Medaka, that's why. I thought I had unlocked more of them, but okay, apparently nothing new from here. So, I'll be starting with enemies. Okay. By the way, how many have I read in total? Oh, 47. That's not bad at all. I don't remember how many I had read before, but 47 doesn't sound bad. Wait. Before I do this, I almost forgot. Before I started the stream, I went and did all the dailies because the To Temper Thyself is back. Wait, where is it? I am very grateful that they're giving us a free constellation, even though for this account it's only this. I mean, it's only a standard choice, a standard banner character. I'm very grateful. But it is so tough on this challenge with this event, so... Okay, let me buy all the ones from here. There we go. Okay, now I have done everything I wanted to do for today, which means let's go to the archive. Wait, I'm starting at 4 minutes with this. Okay. I was so disappointed with this one. I still remember it from the last time I did this. Okay, how much has... Oh, I have so many left. Wait. I have lots of equipment as well, right? Ooh, so many things to read through. Geography. I think I've already read everything from geography that I have. Yeah, I think I always come and read the ones from geography. Yeah, obviously I have done nothing in Sumer or Fontaine, obvious reasons, nor Natlan. How have I... What? Kuvaki Experimental Design Bureau? How have I missed this? This is a secret research. Where is this? Why have I not unlocked it? Never mind. Oh man, there's so many from materials, right? Okay. Let's start with the enemies for sure. Okay, where was I? Yes. At 5 minutes. Okay. The Abyss. Large Shatterstone Breacher Primus. A strange life form that mostly appears in Elinas. Melusines perceive Breacher Primuses as harmless creatures and many even find them completely adorable. The visual perception of Melusines is very different from humans. Oh, yes, it is. Okay, I had to fight these a lot before. On my main account, one of the first characters I got was actually Novilette. Because he's one of my favorite characters, obviously. And both Novilette and Furina and many of the characters that I really love require talent books from the domain with these things, and I hated them so much in the beginning, and then they became super easy to defeat. But in the beginning, when I didn't have powerful characters and I also didn't have like enough Fontaine characters, it was super difficult to fight with them. And also the Melusines are very weird. For thinking these are harmless creatures, they are not harmless at all. Okay, never mind. The tiny one. Shatterstone Breacher Primus, a strange life form that mostly appears in Elinas, receives a powerful shock from encountering Gugia or Pneuma energy, and thus Breacher Primuses can be driven away using these relatively non-aggressive and non-invasive means. Oh, these ones look almost cute, but don't trust them. They remind me a lot of the enemies that we fight in the very beginning in Honkai Star Rail. They have the same kind of colors. The color scheme is the same. I wonder if they're connected. Anyway, large, overgrown Breacher Primus. Actually, this is the one you meet in the temple that I was talking about. A strange life form that mostly appears in Elinas. The nature of a Breacher Primus defies known categories. They are not animals, plants, shroomkin, nor elementals. The debate among scholars of Sumeru never formally reached a consensus on just what it is until it was finally banned as a research topic. The reason is that based on the current system of knowledge, this problem is like the definitions prescribed by language and the true nature of things, and it is impossible to have a meaningful final answer. People? Okay, I never knew that they call it shroomkin for the mushrooms, but sure, that's good to know. I now realize just how many people from the academia are stumped by the different life forms on Teyvat. Like the shroomkin, there were so many people thinking, oh, is this another type of slime? Oh, is this another type of wait, it wasn't the shrooms. It was the specters. Are they a type of slime? Are they a type of the traveler? You know, and everyone not being able to graduate because their ideas are just incredibly ridiculous. Good to know that other things have stumped them as well. Okay, overgrown Breacher Primus, a strange life form that mostly appears in Elinas. In Fontaine, the earliest recorded observations of a Breacher Primus appeared shortly after the Cataclysm. Records from the time show instances of Breacher Primuses both attacking and protecting humans. Wait, what? They were protecting people? That's new. That's very new. Okay, I did not know about that part. Tenebrous Mimiflora, abyssal monsters that have descended to this world from the deep, dark depths of a twisted and alien world. They possess a plant-like appearance. It is said that where the corrosive waves of the dark tide lap, such plant-like dark monsters will grow. But they only bear a superficial resemblance to plants, for it is a form they only adopted to get closer to the tree-like world, that they might extract the necessary concepts from it, and analyze and imitate them. Some raving lunatics who have lost their minds say that those things that extend out like leaves are actually the beginnings of gates to other worlds. What? Okay, first of all, this has never looked to me like a plant. I'm so sorry. But if they say so, it makes sense. It wants to be closer to Irminsu, it wants to extract the data, and it is actually the boss that kind of takes the form of different monsters, the different bosses to attack us, so that makes sense. The gates to other worlds, only if the other world is the death world, sure. What I'm more interested in is why it has cubes inside. That is more interesting to me than the leaves or whatever these things are. And the other thing is that not only does it have those cubes that are obviously super important in Genshin lore, but also they look almost drawn. And by almost, I mean completely drawn. They look like this was a canvas and these things were literally painted on it, which is very, very weird. Anyway, oh, that was the last from the abyss. Which means that it is time for the Fatui. Okay. Fatui Skirmisher, Pyroslinger Bracer. A Fatui soldier who wields a flaming gun. Skirmisher weapons can control the elements to a certain extent, and their combat tactics utilize elemental reactions. Their ordnance and knowledge of squad-based combat thus constitute no small threat in battle. Yeah, I was so afraid of these things in the beginning. Now, poor things, they don't want to meet me. Fatui Skirmisher, Hydro Gunner Legionnaire. A soldier encased within a Fatui war machine, armed with equipment that can control the elements to a certain extent. Their guns are capable of firing jets of water. These skirmishers do not question if they shall live or die as they advance into nations far from home to complete reconnaissance missions and lay the groundwork for operations to come. Yep. It is very interesting that they say that he's encased. Wait, where was it? Yeah, a soldier encased with within a Fatui war machine. That sounds very interesting to me, like this is almost a cyborg for real. Even though I always thought it was just a mask and some, armor. Encased? That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Okay. Fatui Skirmisher, Animal Boxer Vanguard. A skirmisher armed with the ability to manipulate Animo and heal their comrades. They departed from their motherland and did so for its sake. They left their family, yet gained allies to stick through thick and thin with. Perhaps such thoughts are what get them through the unscrupulous work that their missions entail. They can heal? What? Can they really heal? I know that they do that Animo shield, that kind of... If you use some kind of elemental power that is not Dendro or Geo or Animo, it kind of absorbs it and then sucks you in and then it kind of destroys you. I didn't know they could heal. That's very weird. I've never seen it in game actually. Or maybe I've just missed it. Anyway, Fatui Skirmisher, Electrohammer Vanguard. A sturdily built skirmisher armed with an electro-powered warhammer. As a Fatui soldier, one has access to magnificent resources, salaries, armaments, and supplies. But at the same time, it also means much time away from home and family, and putting one's life in the hands of comrades one has never met. Yeah, it's a tough life to be a Fatui skirmisher. Fatui Skirmisher, Cryo Gunner Legionnaire. A soldier encased within a Fatui war machine, armed with equipment that can control the elements to a certain extent. Their guns are capable of firing jets of frost, though this may confer elemental power beyond the ken of ordinary humans. That power may yet come at a price. What do they mean? First of all, again, I don't get it, the whole encased thing. And second of all, as far as I understood from everyone's descriptions, these are just using weapons that have the ability to control the elements, basically. That are loaded with elemental power, basically, right? So they're not really delusion bearers, right? Why would it come with a price? We know the price of delusions. Anyway, Fatui Skirmisher Geochanter Bracer. A skirmisher with the ability to generate a geo ward and defend their allies. Unlike the elite mages and agents, Fatui skirmishers are soldiers of lesser individual might. To complete their tasks and reduce losses in men and material, their tactics are thus more reliant on teamwork. Oh, their shields are so annoying, even now. Also, I know that technically we do have like at least one staff, well, several staves actually in Genshin, but the one thing I am just a tiny bit disappointed is that we don't have a proper staff weapon, like a staff weapon choice for Genshin. I know that the catalysts basically do what the staves would do if they existed, but I just love staves in games. It's my favorite weapon, even more than swords. Even though I am a fencer girl, I just love staves so freaking much. Okay, let's go for the next one. Mirror Maiden. A Fatui mage who can command a hydro mirror in battle. Her posture is highly dignified, as if she is one who worships a god. The hydro mirror she manipulates lures those enchanted by her to willingly fall for her illusion. Nothing seems to escape her ears. No one knows what those covered eyes have seen, nor what kind of obsession might be reflected in them. Wait, you can actually see her reflection? It's very difficult to get... Look. It's very cool. I never noticed this before. It's also interesting that she has the cubes again. And again, she is one of those who have delusions, and yet it says nothing about price for her, while for the Fatui skirmisher, they were talking about the price when he doesn't even have a delusion. That's very interesting. Okay. Oh, this is the last one I haven't read. Okay. Wind Operative. An elite agent among the Fatui. Operatives have no ordinary military rank among the Fatui. Based on their roles and the content of their missions, they can work in concert with other soldiers, work alone, or in tandem with the tags hidden and scattered across the world. They spy, conduct counter-espionage, protect, assassinate, and conduct other tasks. In order to effectively carry out missions of a more special nature, operatives also need to master all kinds of other skills and even various arts and talents. They look very fancy. I love their designs. It's just amazing. It's very, very elegant and powerful at the same time. I love it. But I hated fighting with them so much. Until I got a good character, obviously. But in the beginning, oh, I suffered so much. Okay, those were the Fatui. I'm still missing 2 though. Am I missing the Cryo Season Mage? That's very weird. And there was one more operative, right? Again, Cryo maybe? I think? Anyway, I'm not going to search for them right now. I just want to read today. So, let's go to automatons. Ah, this looks so cool. Ruin Hunter. A giant, alien-looking war machine. They are said to be remnants from a lost, ancient nation. It seems that the creators opted to forego the low-performing humanoid design in pursuit of improved combat effectiveness. They're extremely dangerous both in melee and ranged combat. Considering these mere relics possess such extraordinary power, one cannot help but wonder what the civilization that produced them must have looked like at its height. I definitely wonder. Can you imagine that in 2 years we're going to Kandria? I hope. I mean, if everything goes in the correct order, like we have Snezhnaya and then possibly Kandria. It should be 2 years, but who knows? It is set up like it's coming though. With everything that the Abyssal sibling is doing, he or she should be able to revive Kandria in 2 years. I hope so. I mean, it will be awful for Teyvat, but I want all the lore. Okay. Wait, I need to drink a bit of water. Okay. Ruin Grader. An ancient humanoid war machine. Their form is similar to that of Ruin Guards, but is more distorted and more powerful. Energy cores have been installed in both its legs, as though to power its overly heavy form. Yeah, that's why we can destroy them and then it's not so powerful. Yep. Wait. It's interesting that it has those branches though. Considering everything that we know about Irminsul, it's always interesting to see things with trees in them, especially if those trees are kind of filled with some elemental marrow, if I can call it like this. Interesting. Okay. Ruin Cruiser. Various bizarrely shaped machines that have taken different forms and functions to adapt to different goals. Legend has it that they are war machines left behind by a nation that has already been destroyed. Compared to the more common Ruin Guards, their forms have greater value in the study of biomimesis. The inspiration for its decentralized design and combat modes seems to have come from honeybee colonies, rendering it able to change forms and to attack from different directions. Have we ever seen bees in Genshin? Or honey? I don't think so. Is that something that appears only in Kandria? We have butterflies and fireflies and all kinds of beetles, but honeybees? I don't think so. Anyway, Ruined Drake Skywatch, a horrifying dragon-shaped machine. It is said to be a war machine left behind by a now destroyed nation. It mimics the appearance of the beings known as bishops, with some functional enhancements. Such machines have an even greater ability to absorb, or perhaps the right word is counteract, elemental powers than the bishops. How, you wonder, did a civilization that could make such frightening machines of war collapse? Oh, we know. We know how it collapsed. I wonder though, did everything that they built as machines was actually kind of ignited by the abyss? Because we already saw so many things that were happening because of the influence of the abyss in Kandria. I wouldn't be surprised if the abyss was, pulling the strings for a very long time, including for the preparation of creation and making of all these machines. Okay, anyway, Primal Construct Reposer. The guardians of the lost ancient desert ruins have power enough to punish any who would presume to disturb the pure dreams of their lord. These machines were not first built to be temple guards or palace defenders, but instead to rebirth the paradise that the foolish desert ruler dreamed of. Today, that utopia is long gone, and the dreams and oaths forgotten by the world are now only found in the mantras inscribed upon these machines. Yeah, even the enemies remind you just how tragic all of Sumeru's lore is. Yeah. How much more tragedy do you bring? Primal Construct Reshaper. The guardians of the lost ancient desert ruins have power enough to punish any who would presume to disturb the pure dreams of their lord. The lord of the blazing sun, who once ruled this desert, once promised his people a utopia on the other side of existence, though it ultimately turned out to be a mirage made of folly. Today, that utopia is long gone, and the dreams and oaths forgotten by the world are now only found in the mantras inscribed upon these machines. I wonder if King Deshret actually had the exact same kind of story as the Vinster King, because what he believed would be the utopia is basically probably what the Vinster King was thinking that he was making in Kandria, and we know that both of them were affected by the abyss, so they probably had the absolute same fate and the absolute same steps towards that fate. Okay. Primal construct. Prospector. The guardians of the lost ancient desert ruins have power enough to punish any who would presume to disturb the pure dreams of their lord. The Master of the Sands once took to studying taboo knowledge in an effort to create a dream paradise, and these machines may or may not have been the fruits of that research. Today that utopia is long gone, and the dreams and oaths forgotten by the world are now only found in the mantras inscribed upon these machines. Yep, pretty sure he had the same arc as the Winster King. Rican Lugmeg. Oh, I love these so much. I mean, they're enemies, but they're literal machine dogs. Look how cute it is. One of the earliest new type clockwork mecha to be made. It is said that during his time at the Institute of Natural Philosophy, the Lord Artificer Guillotine. How did Marionette pronounce this? Guillotine created machines that can simulate genuine intelligence. Though he never openly admitted it, this rumor nonetheless spurred on subsequent generations of ambitious engineers. Decades ago, one of them announced that they had created a machine that not only possessed basic thinking abilities, but could also read human emotions. But in the end, the results went unacknowledged. Oh, look at the doggo. Okay, from a dog to a spider. Arithmetic Enhancer Mech, a clockwork mecha designed to transmit and enhance signals. The power that drives this clockwork mecha is generated from a controlled annihilation reaction between Wuxia and Pneuma in the kinetic core. As a result, overloading it with excessive energy will cause its original equilibrium to be disrupted. Yep. There isn't really any specific lore to comment on. These things. Underwater Patrol Mech. This type of clockwork mecha was designed to search out, repel, and if need be, exterminate aquatic life forms that pose a threat to underwater equipment. Ever since the first Diluvian period, the Fontaine Research Institute has been preoccupied with the thought that there might be a second one. Some had the idea of taking back the ruins lost to the waves and building an underwater city, whereas others looked up to the untouchable sky islands overhead with the intention of building a metropolis in the clouds. Underwater patrol mechs were conceived by the former, but, judging from the results, it is the latter that have gained the upper hand in recent years. That is until the whole thing blew up, right? Yeah, and not only that, what is very interesting is that the tower that was floating in Fontaine ends up at the bottom of the sea, so I wouldn't say that this is necessarily true anymore about the last part. Poor guys, ended up on the bottom of the sea either way. Suppression Specialist Mech, a clockwork mecha adapted from the Cal Sherbius type. Unfortunately, aside from its ability to attack, it has no other capabilities. Clockwork mecha based on annihilation energy normally produce their energy by utilizing repeaters composed of special crystals to refine Wuxia and Pneuma from Fontaine's environment. But, outside of Fontaine, they can use pre-prepared energy blocks to move over short distances for short periods of time. The difference can be observed from the shape of the crystal components on the mecha. I was about to say, we met, the traveler meets one of these, well, not exactly one of these, but rather one of these in Not Cry, and it was still fighting completely fine, even though it was not in Fontaine. By the way, this looks awesome. Annihilation Specialist Mech. Although the Fontaine Research Institute of Kinetic Energy Engineering is the main organization involved in clockwork mecha research and design, there are also many independent engineers and workshops that are not affiliated with the Research Institute. The first ever machine of this type was designed by an independent engineer to commemorate their lover and sponsor. In the end, it was acquired by the Maison Gardiennage as a tool to uphold municipal security. Or, as some would have it, state apparatus enforcing the monopoly on violence. Oh, come on, they're led by Novilette. They're not a monopoly on violence, they're actually upholding justice. Except when they get hijacked by someone, and then not so much. Construction Specialist Mech, a type of large clockwork mecha, which also has immeasurable value when utilized in building construction and archaeological excavation. Its name comes from an engineer employed by Callas during the construction of the Clementine Line. With Callas's financial backing, this engineer built the legendary Golden Vessel, a gigantic piece of construction machinery which was used to dig the Poisson Tunnel. Once the job was complete, this type of clockwork mecha was designed with a similar structure but reduced to a smaller scale. Nice calling to Callas. But now they're just weapons. No, actually, we have seen them, right? Actually trying to do something near the ores. So I guess at least treasure hoarders use them for excavation. I think I saw them near treasure hoarders, if I remember correctly. Oh, these ones. I hate fighting this boss, but I love how it looks and how it moves. It's just so amazing. Okay, I'm starting. Wow, it's been so... I've read only for 40 minutes, but I'm already getting tired. That's not good. Okay, I can do this. Icewind Suite. Artifice dancers developed by the Fontaine Research Institute. Bossuet originally intended for artifice dancers to be works of art that transcended the area of mechanical reproduction. But after Bossuet was forced to resign, the project was taken over by Maillardet, who had his own unique understandings of what he wanted to achieve. As a result, while their features were perfected during the course of its development, the artifice dancers gradually strayed from Bossuet's original vision. Oh, they surely did. They dance beautifully, it's just that they annihilate anyone that comes near them. But what can you do? Ooh. Oh, we're moving. That was the last that I had unlocked from Fontaine. Interesting that... Why is the Maku Kenki after these things? Is it because it's a boss? Yes, it should be because it's a boss, but... Did Magu Kenki release after Fontaine? It's very weird. I wasn't playing when this thing released, so I actually have no idea whatsoever. Anyway, Magu Kenki, a disciplined mechanical swordsman, doesn't seem to have the ability nor will to speak, but instead only seeks to communicate with crossed swords. It is said that this machine was made using the memories of the first generation master of a certain sword school. However, it malfunctioned, lost control, and was ultimately discarded. Some sing that the machine's spirit still lingers in the place where its fate was ended. They also say that the vicious mask that serves as its guard was inspired by a famous Oni from that era. Was it? Again, I hadn't been playing when everything in Inazuma was happening, so do we actually have more information about the mask and the Oni and this boss specifically? Anyway, Natlan time. Secret Source Automaton, Hunter Seeker. An ancient ruin automaton used in object collection. Legend has it that these ancient ruin machines were designed for specialized work functions, primarily conducting experimental work such as capturing and collecting samples, and had only basic combat functionality. According to rumor, these were not built by humans, but are instead creations of a yet more ancient civilization. Today, that civilization has been lost, and all that remains are these strange machines that roam the land. Oh, it's not a rumor. They were definitely created by the artificial dragons. Very interesting though. I'm very interested why all of these machines from Sumeru, from Fontaine, and from the ancient dragon civilization have almost identical design, while the ones from Canria look so much, I don't know, darker and more, I don't want to say crude because that's not the word. They look more ancient to me than the ones here. These look futuristic, all of them, while the ones from Canria looks ancient, literally ancient. It's a very strange design choice. Oh, this thing. I had, on my main account, I put for Sitlali, so I didn't have much trouble with it, but I remember how many people were complaining that you have to climb there. But there were many different ways to get up there, even if you didn't have any not cry things, so that's that. Anyway. Secret Source Automaton, Overseer Device. An domination mechanism from the ancient ruins. In ancient times, to oversee the operation of their megacities, a mighty race vested part of their power into a form of phlogiston engineered intelligence. Driven by their mission and by means of various other mechanisms, the machines upon which it was bestowed once controlled the functioning of myriad cities across the land. Now, long after their ancient civilizations fought through wars with an emerging race, these once wise contraptions retain only the most basic of commands. Which is destroy, destroy, destroy. Yeah. See, all of them look so futuristic, except the ones from Canria. I've already read Nakodako. Okay. Oh my, there's so many left. Okay. Do I want to read more of the enemies? Or do I want to read something else? Let's continue with enemies. Better that. Okay. Treasure hoarders. Look, the next patch is literally coming tomorrow. I mean, after my stream, it's coming very late for me to play through it tomorrow, but it's coming tomorrow. And I am very excited about everything that is going to happen with Columbina, with the Archon quests, with Durin and the Hexenzirkel. But I really wanted a new exploration area because I want to learn about the treasure hoarders and specifically read Miller. I have to wait again. I really thought it would be the next patch when we learn about the proofs of the cognoscenti, everything about Reed Miller. But no. Anyway, treasure hoarders, Pyro Potioneer, a member of the decentralized criminal organization that has footprints all over the continent and even deep within unknown domains. Risk-takers who utilize their knowledge of chemistry to mix volatile and flammable brews that aid in their comrades' dastardly deeds. Chemistry? Shouldn't it say alchemy? Didn't it say alchemy for the other ones? Wait, I've already read this, I don't need to read it again, but I just want to see charlatans. Doesn't chickenery? No. They don't mention alchemy. Why do I think that they rely on alchemy? Anyway. Treasure hoarders, Electro Potioneer, a member of the decentralized criminal organization that has footprints all over the continent and even deep within unknown domains. Potioneer is the nickname given to members of the treasure hoarder organization who know how to brew up dangerous chemicals. What? Did you think this treasure has Adventurers Guild written all over it or something? A certain treasure hoarder potioneer during a confrontation with adventurers. I think it has the travelers written all over it, but sure. Oh, poor guys, they don't stand a chance recent days. They're definitely not the enemies I'm afraid of. Treasure hoarders, Seaman, a member of the decentralized criminal organization that has footprints all over the continent and even deep within unknown domains. Stealing? What do you mean stealing? It's rediscovery. I tell you, the return of treasure to those who appreciate it makes everyone happy to boot. How great is that, huh? A certain treasure hoarder seaman in response to a question posed by a doubtful recruit. Of course, it's rediscovery, not stealing. Sure. Hi, Waffle. Hi, how are you today? I hope you're having a lovely day. Rediscovery. I wonder what Sino would say if they tried this trick with him. Nobushi, Hitsukeban, samurai who have fallen into banditry. Though they are called the Nobushi, they do not have a centralized organization. They not only possess highly advanced sword skills, but can also carry out flame powder attacks using the elements. Objectively speaking, perhaps this method of winning goes against the path of a martial artist. Sometimes they even collude with the treasure hoarders or fatui out of a greed for wealth, or simply to survive. Yeah, with the way Raiden treated her country, I am not surprised at all that they turned to banditry. Poor guys, but I still had to defeat them. Oh well, here, that's amazing. Kairagi, fiery might. Samurai who have fallen into banditry. They practiced martial arts since they were young, but lost the opportunity to serve the people due to certain reasons and turned from the righteous path. Their blades' edges are not cold like ordinary steel, but instead burn with a bitter flame. They seem to have used paper seals, created from a lost Kamuna art, to set their blades afire. Sounds very cool. I am interested though why all of them have, like, the skin of this guy is almost bluish and these guys have red eyes. And I know this can be just the design of things, but I highly doubt that something in Genshin isn't designed with a certain purpose. So I do wonder why they chose this design. Are they affected by the abyss as well? Or is there another reason? Who knows? Okay. Eremite time. Wait a second. I need just 2 minutes of a break to drink water. Okay. Eremite crossbow. A member of a loosely organized mercenary corps hailing from a place where the suns shine like gold. We work for anyone as long as the pay is good. The Eremite tradition is to use bows to engage their foes, but ever since the academia permitted them to buy crossbows at the bazaars, only the proudest shooters would still use bows, which take many years of practice to master. Yeah, I mean, lazy is the way. Okay, this one. There was a quest about the samurai that explained why their appearance is different. I probably have never done it. Even though on my main account I have done a lot, I have mostly not done anything in Inazuma. I think I haven't even done 2 of the big world quest chains. It's a shame. I am ashamed, but I will find it one day, for sure. Okay. Eremite Ravenbeak Howderdeer, a member of a loosely organized mercenary corps from the Golden Desert Sands. We'll work for anyone as long as the pay is good. These warriors use Ravenbeak halberds in battle. It is said that ascetics who served the deity of the desert would carry these halberds as symbols of their office. These weapons once had a true name, but it has long been lost to the desert sands. It's just a halberd. It says Eremite Desert Clearwater, but we all know this is Jet. Did you notice that there in one of the last mini events there was an NPC that was talking about Jet? It was so surprising and so cool. Okay, Waffle, one day I have to do absolutely everything on this account, so one day I would definitely find this quest, if it exists. Okay, Jet. A member of a loosely organized mercenary corps from the Golden Desert Sands. We work for anyone as long as the pay is good. a young lady lost in the ancient dream of the desert songs. To her, the thrill of bloody battle is her true reward. Legend has it that the women of this tribe are often afflicted by the wandering spirits of the desert, a condition that leads many of them to an early end. Perhaps this one can only be free of these apparitions when her blood is up in combat. An ominous, fragmented spirit is sealed within the weapon she uses, awakening in moments of peril. Once it does, it can only be silenced by the cries of the vanquished, whether that be its wielder or its wielder's foe. Can you imagine how cool it would be if they released Jet as a playable character? I would definitely pull for her. I mean, she looks awesome, even as an NPC. You know, I've seen that many people talk about how nice new NPCs are, but I always thought that the ones in Sumeru are kind of some of the most amazing ones. I mean, look at this design, it's amazing. I love it. Okay, never mind, I can think about the Jet all day long. Let's go. Eremite Day Thunder, a member of a loosely organized mercenary corps from the Golden Desert Sands. We work for anyone, as long as the pay is good. A true scion of a warrior tribe. Such warriors see battle as their ordained purpose. And unlike some barbarian who wields a large axe with ease, these tribespeople are also quite well versed in the lore and songs of the desert ruins. An ominous fragmented spirit is sealed within the weapon they use, awakening in moments of peril. Once it does, it can only be silenced by the cries of the vanquished, whether that be its wielder or its wielder's foe. Look at this, it's awesome. I really love all the Eremite designs. Oh, I would have to agree with Vamachara. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce your name correctly. I loved Sumeru. I know that the quests are very long, and oh my, when I will have to pronounce all the Nara names, Nara and Nara, I will go crazy. But when I did it the first time, I absolutely loved it. And I would love to see Rana as a playable character too. And she has a vision. She actually has a vision, so there is absolutely no reason for Hoyoverse, for Genshin not to release her. Honestly, I really want her to. Okay. Oh, look at it. I love the designs. They're so freakingly amazing. Eremite Scorching Lore Master. A person hailing from the loosely organized mercenary bands of the desert. Even though they will work for anyone as long as the pay is good, they will never forget their roots in the Great Red Sand. After the collapse of its civilizations, the stories of the desert were passed down generation after generation in oral tradition, just like the sparks in the wind and the rain in the clouds. As time passed, some stories were lost, while others survived, albeit with significant changes. The Eremites is the umbrella term given to the tribes of the desert by those too ignorant or disdainful to learn the tribe's myriad differences. Within those referred to as the Eremites, many have also indeed already forgotten the tales of the desert. Fear not, however, for those who still remember will never betray the spirit of the sands, yet flowing through their veins. I can't believe this is obviously a very, very old lore that I'm reading here, but I can't believe that in this patch that is finishing now, we actually got to hear one of those stories through Nefer's quest. And it's so good. If you haven't done Nefer's quest, and you can't do it if you don't have Nefer, which is very sad, you should search for it somewhere, because it was very good. It was written like an actual fairy tale, and I really, really liked it. Just checking on chat, sorry. Yes, it was the first time we saw a vision. I mean, a character receive a vision in the story, as far as I know as well. Okay. Oh, we're going to Natlan. Forged Sand Interrogator. Are you sure you're an interrogator? You look like a dancer. A valiant warrior of the canyon and a tribal guardian who patrols the crystal mountains and rivers. A tribal warrior wielding a bow-headed club, she can turn even the hardest of rocks into dust with her crushing blows. When not using her weapon to fight, she instead often smashes open rocks in search of precious gems and traces of phlogiston crystals. There we go. Oh, and I haven't unlocked many of them. Swift Step Storm Scout. A warrior from the canopy and a tribal guardian that patrols the forest valleys and mountain streams. It is said that these sword-wielding tribal warriors stand under trees and cut every leaf that falls over the course of a day in order to hone their fighting skills. But just as the leaves fall silently, so are the slashes of these swift couriers soundless. Cool, cool. I still like the desert designs much more. You have Nefer, but you haven't taken the 100k Mora? You should. And you should do her quest. It's awesome. Okay, this one is actually cool. Okay. Yumkasaurus warrior, whirling leaves. A powerful warrior from the canopy, whose bravery has been acknowledged and for which they may wear the Saurian crown. A warrior who can use a grappling hook to extend their attack range. Grappling hooks are an indispensable part of daily life for the science of the canopy. However, only the wildest warriors will combine the hooks with saw blades to create a weapon both exceptionally lethal and difficult to control. I am still upset that the characters we actually got to play with in Natlan didn't have cool hats to go with them. But what can you do? Where do you find this tab? This is just the archive. You go to the archive, living beings, and then enemies and monsters. Yumkasaurus warrior, flowing skyfire. A powerful warrior from the canopy, whose bravery has been acknowledged and for which they may wear the Saurian crown. A warrior who can use a grappling hook to extend their attack range. Following intricate mechanical tinkering, the hand cannon they wield can be fired using said grappling hook. For the Saurian-crowned warriors of the science of the canopy, refining one's skills and thought is more important than training the spirit and will. They have interesting ideas. Yeah, I still like the Sumeru ones much more. Also, I had to play on a mobile phone a few months ago, and I tried fighting against these things and I failed so miserably. They're awful for mobile players. I don't know how you defeat them. But what can you do? Koholosaurus Warrior, Reef Splitter. A powerful warrior from the source of the springs, whose bravery has been acknowledged and for which they may wear the Saurian crown. A warrior who can temporarily harness the power of the waves to shuttle back and forth. It is said that one must undergo 3 states of training to master this skill. First, to adapt. Second, to submit. Finally, to drive. Mastering this method of movement is merely the entry-level requirement to become a Saurian-crowned warrior of the people of the springs, and the greatest among those warriors who the greatest among these warriors can even use this skill to sail on land. There you go. I didn't enjoy fighting you at all. Okay. So many things today. I managed to read through. I started here today. Here. And then so many things. How many are left? Oh my god. So many are left from enemies. So many. Okay. I can do it. I can do at least half more hour, but my voice is already dying so much. Geovishap hatchling. Oh, you look so cute. A young bishop with a hard geo exoskeleton. Bishops are exceptionally agile creatures that one would be wise not to underestimate in battle. Experts from Sumeru Academia believe that they become dragons when fully grown. By avoiding predators and natural disasters, perhaps they can even live long enough to become formidable beasts that reign over entire mountains. I believe in you, little dude. Geobishop. Yes, I do the lore books as well. I have to read absolutely everything for this challenge. Every single thing. All the cool things like the lore books and these things here in the archive and the world quests, and even the things that make me want to lose my mind, like the males, everything. Mythical beasts and Kazuha? I don't get it. Okay, Geobishop. A mature Geobishop. It is said that after many years have passed, Geobishop hatchlings will shed the armor that originally protected them and become Geobishops. However, these two and the older, greater primo bishops have spent many years hibernating under the mountains and have only emerged and become active in recent times. As such, none can personally attest to having witnessed or recorded such a thing in person. So we actually have no idea how this whole thing happens. I get it now about Kazuha. Okay. Primordial baptismal bishop. A bishop that dwells deep beneath the oceans. They were once the dominant race in the depths, and indeed, dragons were the overlords of the whole world in an even earlier age. but their former 7 sovereigns were defeated by a power from the heavens, withering one by one. Yeah. I was very I hadn't done Enconomia before I did Fontaine, and I was super surprised to see them actually there. I thought they were a Fontaine special thing, and I was so wrong. These things. I hate these things so much. Okay, when I started challenge, the reason I started this challenge was actually that it was a live stream from Genshin, and the devs were explaining how they basically called us out on not reading the lore in the game. And I was like, yeah, I'll take that personally. And I'll read absolutely everything in the game. You'll see. That's basically the story. Okay. Oh, I was saying, when I started playing for the first time, I really hated these things because they fly super fast, right? And I don't know why I decided to do this, but I thought that the only way to defeat them is to use a bow character. And I tried to shoot them down with Amber, and obviously that didn't work, and I almost died from these tiny little things. And now I defeat them on sight. Anyway, Hydrocyssin. Little creatures that can ever so slightly manipulate Hydro. They and other such creatures are known collectively as Sissins, and they truly adore the rare and wonderful mistgrass plant. It is by exploiting this relationship that the Fatui mages have sought to commandeer Sissins in battle. Wait, really? I didn't know this about the Fatui mages at all. That's actually pretty cool. I always thought that they were like... I thought that the Fatui Sissins were actually creating them through elemental powers. They're actually attracting them using this plant. That's actually super cool. Okay, I am very glad that I read this one. Okay. Floating hydrofungus. You hated the cryosissins because of their shields? Me too. Me too. Until I got Diluc, and then I melted their shields. Floating hydrofungus. A spore organism of some intelligence. It possesses extreme adaptability. It is said that it tastes awful. However, such fungi have lots of moisture within them, and so can be used as an emergency water source. Okay, first of all, who wanted to eat them, and was it Shangling? And second of all, poor things, they want to use them for their water. Poor guys. Whirling pyrofungus. A spore organism of some intelligence. It possesses extreme adaptability. Due to the abundant amount of pyro these creatures contain, they have a tendency to cause forest fires during dry seasons, and thus are considered a dangerous invasive species to the forest. I would guess so. I would guess so, Genshin. Okay. Winged cryoshroom. I hated these ones. Okay. I hated them because I was playing with Barbara, and you can guess the story. A mimetic life form made out of spores that has extreme adaptability. Going well past mere appearances, this being even imitates the habits of birds. When it flies about, it will scatter icy flowers in its wake. These crystal cores, too, are spores. This creature has a position of command among colonies of fungal beasts and exhibits heightened intelligence to match. Yep, very cute, very dangerous if you play with Barbara. Oh, these ones! I don't know why, but I really like this design. It's so cool. Okay. Consecrated horned crocodile. A reptile that has mutated after feeding from greater life forms. Majestic beasts are sometimes revered by human beings as the embodiment of a greater power. Their visages turn to analogy to feed in reference to a person, feeding their ego. However, the majority of beasts that have absorbed the greater power were slain by the overwhelming nature of the power itself. Only a few among their number evolved new forms. Oh, but these forms are so awesome! Yes, all the consecrated beasts have amazing designs. Honestly, I love all the designs from the desert and from Sumero in general. They're just so cool. Which brings us to consecrated red vulture, a scavenging bird of prey that has mutated after feeding from greater life forms. The greater life forms devoured by consecrated beasts often have nigh immortal consciousness that can never be fully silenced or eradicated. The very power and consciousness gained by consecrated beasts devouring these life forms will, in turn, drive them to seek more violence and carrion. Were they eating the dragons? They always talk about the greater life forms. But what other greater life forms would there be? Maybe the gods? But dragons makes a lot of sense. Think about it. If all the dragon sovereigns were defeated, their bodies must have fallen back on Teyvat. And at least... but the dragon of the desert is a pep, right? So maybe not. I wonder what these greater life forms are. Okay. Armored crab. Oh, these things. I don't like fighting with them. They're so cute. But I needed them so much. For Novilette and for Escoffier and for who else? I don't know, but I had to literally obliterate them from the face of the vat. Poor things. Armored crab. A crab that makes its home in borrowed shells. It seems not to have any of the aggressiveness possessed by many wild animals. Perhaps it is because animals who attack for purposes other than obtaining food possess some degree of territoriality. Yet the territory of the armored crab is not but a small home upon its back. They make it even sadder. Why does Genshin make me fight these poor things? Okay. Emperor of Fire and Iron. Now see, this is something you should fight. One of the two sovereigns who once stood at the apex of the aberrant species of the Phantomar and the subject of many a tale among sailors. An armored crab that avoids predation and can keep hunting and eating, will continue to grow, continually seeking out suitable shells to become its new armor. But eventually, it became simply too gargantuan. Before the first Diluvian period, a massive armored crab once attacked a ship and was finally forced back into the depths by Basil Elton, who had not yet been reinstated as a naval commander. Imagine this world. All of humanity has been purged from Teyvat, and the ever-growing Emperor of Fire and Iron eventually wears the Palais Mermonia upon its body like a luxurious coat of white stone. Of course, in such a world, there naturally would be no one to call it, half jokingly and half in awe, the Emperor of Fire and Iron. Oh, can you imagine? Oh, someone must draw it. The crab with the Palais Mormonia on top of it. Oh, that would be so cool. Poor Fontaine, getting first flooded, then crabs wear its buildings as hats. They can't catch a break. They make us fight blubber beasts, but I didn't fight them. I needed those drops, but I couldn't bring myself to fight the blubber beasts. Too much for my poor little heart. There we go. The next one. Blubber seahorse. No. Bubbler seahorse. So cute. The adult form of a male bubbly seahorse. It is extremely aggressive. Some people even claim to have encountered the king among the seahorses. It is said that they are proud beings with 4 long limbs. Yep, cute but vicious. Sounds about right. Oh, these ones have awesome design too. I didn't enjoy Liyue so much, the normal Liyue area, but Liyue has the chasm and what was the other? Chenyu Veil? Amazing, absolutely amazing. Xuanwen Beast. Xuanwen beasts, named for the dark patterns on their bodies, are fierce creatures that inhabit the mountains of Chenyu Veil. In the region's folklore, these beasts were the servants of an adeptus in ancient times, tasked with vanquishing evil and protecting the region. However, they devolved into brutal creatures after said adeptus passed away. These legends cannot be verified, and no one knows the true identity of this adeptus. This much is for sure, however. One should stay away from these aggressive creatures for one's safety. For over 1,000 years, these beasts have lost a tremendous amount of territory that once belonged to them to relentless human encroachment. These days, they can only occasionally be spotted in the remote mountains of Chenyu Veil. Poor things. Poor things lose their territory like real world animals. Okay. I think I might be able to finish everything from here today, which is awesome. Okay. These look so awesome too. Even these ones look to me not so much ancient, rather than wait, like these machines from here, futuristic. I'm telling you, the only ones that look truly ancient to me are the ones from Canria, which is very weird. Okay, let's read about this. Praetorian Golem. A moving statue shaped like a warrior, who will swing their sword at all who dare trespass upon the area under their guardianship. It is unclear if it is a soul or magic that powers them. They say that legions of golems once conquered the nations that called the high sea home, and this might have been amongst their number. The great towers and palaces that now sleep beneath the waves once bore witness to the fate of those who stand in the path of the wheel of fate. Yeah, their stories were truly tragic. So many things in Genshin are tragic, I can't anymore. Coholosaurus, a saurian with thick, strong flippers and a long tail that can swim in water and liquid phlogiston. According to legend, more ancient dragons were even more able to adapt to their environments, and when the largest dragon in the ocean of the age floated onto the surface, it could even be mistaken for an island. It is said that today's Coholosaurus are the descendants of that great sea dragon, and in their broad backs, the colossal forms of those ancient sea beasts may yet be glimpsed. Yeah, pretty much what you would expect from a dragon's lore. They were very big and became very small. Okay. Everything in Genshin is sad, unfortunately, pretty much, yeah. Okay. Oh, I'm getting very tired. Eroding avatar of lava. A strange monster that must continually absorb heat to stay in an active state. The ancient civilization used many different types of golden designs to drive the flow of phlogiston, allowing massive constructs and magnificent cities to operate under the wisdom of the golden patterns. It is said that in addition to machines with fixed structures, the creatures known as avatars of lava are actually badly damaged life forms that were once created in the same way. However, after the flames of the sacred mountain were extinguished, most of them lost their sense of purpose and direction. Yeah, I would say poor things, but I absolutely hated them. Fighting with these is awful. I don't like it. They hit so hard. So hard. These ones too. Okay. Fluid avatar of lava. A strange monster that must continually absorb heat to stay in an active state. Once, a more ancient and deep fire burned across all of Natlan in myriad forms. At that time, the once great primitive residents used these fires to transmit light, heat, and wisdom. They believed that life and the soul too took their initial shape from the sparks that flew when flint was struck. If it possesses an eternally burning core, then even a stubborn stone can bring about life. The embers within the body of the avatar of lava seem to be the cold, ash-like remnants of that ancient era. Again, I would feel bad for them, but no. Not for these ones. Okay. I'm getting so tired. Okay. How many are left? Oh my, so many. Okay. I can't believe I had apparently a delusion that I would be able to read at least several types of archival entries, but I literally started only with the enemies and I still haven't finished with them, and it's been so long. Okay. Lava dragon statue. A monster that can continuously generate heat to sustain its activities. Legends say these monsters with lava at their cores are the products of a distinct line of research to the source mechanisms that followed them. Research into whether the primal flame could be used to create a new race based on humans. This research undoubtedly failed, for once the Reaver arrived with their throne from beyond the skies, all that the primal flame could birth were hollow shells whose nominal life force granted them no more consciousness than a stone. They're actually referencing the heavenly principles? I did not expect that. You also think that the mechanics for these ones are evil? I agree with you. I agree. 100%. Okay. Flow inverted Wayop manifestations. The people of the springs believe and worship the Wayop, which manifests upon the land with the power of totems and night souls. The so-called Wayop is the belief that gradually formed primarily from the tribes and obsidian totems after the people of Natlan began communicating with the kingdom of the Lord of the Night. A Wayop is a consciousness of collective thought and the home of the ancestors' souls. The people of the springs believe their Wayop has power to control the tides and waves, and can control the changes of flowing and still dead waters alike. Yeah, they go hard with that energy depleting mechanic. But once I started to freeze them, they couldn't do much against me. Yeah, I think they just failed, to be honest. If you're talking about the human creation thing. Auto? Wait. Oh, I've already started. I think... Who was it? What was his name? Not Shabalanke, but Ochkanatl. Ochkan, basically, would be the only one who would be a success, right? But I don't remember. Was he created by as a human? It's been a while and I've already forgotten some of the lore from Natlan. I'll be replaying it on this account, so it's fine. But I think they were just failed experiments. And then the heavenly principles came. I think that's what it insinuates here. If they had succeeded, the heavenly principles probably would have been angry and then destroyed them. That's what I think. Okay. Biting cold Wayop manifestation. The masters of the night wind believe in and worship the Wayop, which manifests upon the land with the power of totems and night souls. The masters of the night wind have tried using many mediums to communicate with the Night Kingdom. Eventually, they discovered that the medium that allowed them to establish the most stable connection with the Wayap was obsidian. This may explain why, over the ages, Wayap manifestations have taken on a form that resembles a stone statue. The Masters of the Night Wind believe their Wayap has the power to control the process of freezing and crystallization, and can also command both fixedness and mutability. I'm getting very tired. Okay. Oh my, there are 3 more. I can do it. It is difficult to keep track of all of it. My real problem is with the names. I am very bad at remembering names, and there are just so many characters in Genshin. It's difficult. It's difficult to remember everything. This one looks so cute though. I mean, it's supposed to look angry, but look at its face. It's the cutest thing ever. Furnace Shell Mountain Weasel. An ancient variant of Mountain Weasel that has adapted to a unique, phlogiston-rich environment isolated from the outside world. By consuming creatures rich in phlogiston, this species accumulates power in the shell it holds. After a prolonged existence in the ruins of the sacred mountain, its affinity for phlogiston seems to have caused it to be influenced by the source mechanisms within the ruins, creating a unique symbiotic relationship between them. Yep, that's why we can see this part on top of them. Last two. Lupus Boreas, dominator of wolves. The noblest and greatest of souls, who watches over the Lupical of wolvendom. When the wolf pack is imperiled, it will emerge in the form of a wolf and show forth its fangs and claws. The wolves of wolvendom are frightening phantoms to the people of Mondstadt. A blurred shape flashing through the forest, a chilling howl in the indeterminate distance. The creeping sense of eyes constantly nailed to their backs. Humans rarely have the opportunity to lock their eyes with a wolf, for this is the law Lupus Boreas laid down for its race. But we are going to see them! Yes, I just saw chat. Yes, from the trailer we know that we're actually going to see the wolves, which is absolutely awesome. I am so ready for that. I love it so much. Boreas goes so hard. I love his design as well. And we finish with Child. Child, Tartaglia, 11th of the Fatui Harbingers. He draws power from the ominous delusion he possesses and fights using martial arts that he learned in a land of darkness. He is a pure warrior with an insatiable lust for battle. Each bloody conflict, each life and death struggle is a delightful trial to him. People say that the young child is famed throughout the land for his battle prowess, but he has never taken big talk of this kind to heart. After all, you shall ever be the eye of the storm, and the clashing of steel shall ever accompany you. The pitch-black memory of stepping into uttermost darkness shall at last become the strength by which you will overturn this world. I still wonder. You know, we meet Child in Fontaine, and everything that happens there is obviously awesome with him. But I wonder if he will have even more story coming up in the next patches. He has to if we're going to Snezhnaya. But I really wonder what they're cooking with him. I want to see the horses. I definitely want to see the horses. I've been saying it for a long time. Okay. I've read all the enemies today that I had unlocked. And I'm super tired. And yeah, I think... Wait. Actually, there are just a few very easy things that I can read very quickly. From last time. I have to read even these things, yes. Clear Spiral Abyss 4-3, perfect. Clear Spiral Abyss 5-3. Clear Spiral Abyss 6-3. And that's it. Okay. Oh, that was a lot of lore. Which one did I like a lot? The Sissins. Yes, that was the most cool to know. I always thought that the Electro Sissins and Cryo Sissins make them with elemental powers. It's very interesting to know that they actually attract existing ones. Yo ho ho! And a bottle of rum? Okay. Anyway, I read so much today. I am super tired, so I think I will not be reading today anymore. This is a good place to stop for today.
People ought not be so frightened of ghosts.
So, you're super interested in Certology? Oh, yes. I wonder... I think this will be quite far from now, though. Everything with Skirk and Certology and with Child. I think there will be a lot of time until we see that, unfortunately. Yeah. So, anyway, I will really be stopping here for today. And I will continue tomorrow for a tiny bit. Because tomorrow is they're going to stop the game. So I will not be able to do anything. So yeah, it will be a short stream. But anyway, thank you so much for watching today. And I hope to see you another day. Bye bye for now.